What an awesome treat today. We have Bill McAnally, founder and CEO of Bill McAnally Racing Group. How you doing this morning, Bill?
I'm doing great, Mark. Thanks for having me in.
You know what? I really appreciate it. I think you're my favorite guest so far. You brought in some gifts, which we really appreciate. I'm wearing my Bill McAnally Racing hat. It's got a little Napa sponsor on it. So
I heard your sponsors for your radio show. We've got sponsors in our business, so branding. It's all about branding.
No doubt. And you know, before the show, you said that you're a good talker. I'm learning. I've been on the show about a year. And you said I could interrupt you at any time. So if I do, if Bill goes a little long-winded, I'm cutting you off, Bill.
It's your show.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. All right. So first question. Tell us about Bill McAnally Racing. How did you get this thing started? How did you launch this incredible career?
I always liked racing. I was working at a local utility company here and started racing on Saturday nights as a hobby at their entry-level bombers.
Yeah.
Out there beating and banging
in Roseville?
Yeah, on Saturday nights, All-American
You guys are so loud out there.
Oh, no.
But we love it. It's great. I grew up in Roseville, so this is we love the races.
Well, it was a lot of fun, and we just kept moving up. I kind of got pushed up. Didn't say I'm going to move up to the next division. They eliminated. I started out in the entry level in the bombers. They eliminated that division for insurance reasons.
Okay.
And so I got forced up to street stocks my second year. And then street stocks turns into late models, got forced up again. In 1990, we actually won the pinnacle of Saturday night local racing by winning the NASCAR Winston Racing Series Championship.
And that was kind of a game changer for you, huh?
You know what that was? I heard you guys talking about that and winning that championship. And also that year I started a relationship with Napa Auto Parts, my sponsor now of 26 years.
Wow.
And I walked in, met with the general manager at Napa Sacramento that runs the distribution center, services 113 stores. And I left there with some oil filters and some stickers. And that's how the relationship started.
That's awesome. We're going to talk about that branding and how important that relationship and relationships in branding are. But now, when you first started out, did you have high expectations? When did you, obviously you've accomplished so much. Was there ever a time where you said, you know what, I just hope I'm just average?
Hell, I just wanted to finish the race, Mark. Trying to build a race car that finish the race.
Yeah. And now, did you want to be a racer when you were a little guy, or when did you say, you know what? When did that breakthrough happen? When you really started believing in yourself and you decided to just tear it up?
About 15 years old, I bought an old pickup out of a field and built it up and really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Enjoyed tuning on it, making it faster, putting different engine in it with a gear drive on the front of it, headers on it. And I just enjoyed that. I enjoyed going fast. We lived out in the country, had some country roads. And
was the car real loud, too, with the headers on it and stuff?
It was. It was an old 67 Chevy pickup, but loved going fast and always dreamed of being able to race. Just couldn't afford it.
Okay.
I'd go to our local racetrack there. I graduated from Ukiah High over in Ukiah and would go out to the Saturday night races there, but could never afford to put it together. It wasn't until I graduated high school and came over here to go to college and took a summer job at the utility company when we started racing.
So you win the Winston Cup, flash forward, and then that was a turning point for you in many ways, and you established your relationship with Napa. Tell us about how things changed at that moment.
Well, it gave me something to sell. First of all, I got to correct you. I know it's your show, but it wasn't the Winston Cup.
My bad.
Because any race fans are going to say, what?
Thank you.
It was a NASCAR Winston Racing Series Championship.
Okay.
Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, they win the Cup. So we're still trying to get there. But winning that NASCAR Winston Racing Series Championship gave me a title. I could call up, and I had a title to lay out there. And when I went looking for sponsors and for help and support to build my race team, I now had a title to get me in the door and get me by the secretary to the general manager.
And so you established one of your relationships, one of your long-term relationships is Napa. Tell us about how that relationship has affected the trajectory of your career.
Huge. And like I said, I never thought when I first walked out of there with those oil filters what it could build to be and where we would be today. But I was told by a vice president of the Western Division, Wayne Wells, if you help us sell auto parts, Bill, we don't care what you're doing on the racetrack. That's your dream. You help us sell auto parts, we'll make sure you got money to go racing. So we've always worked hard not only to have good competitive race cars and do what we love, but we want to help Napa Auto Parts sell auto parts, and any of our partners, whether it's Toyota, we're trying to help them sell their brand and Toyota vehicles. So we try to help our sponsors achieve their goal and their dreams, and then they give us the money so we can chase our dreams and our goals.
Do you have any idea how many millions of dollars worth of Napa tools and parts that you've sold or created? Is there any way to measure that?
There's no way to measure that. And but I know we've been very successful because we're still here after 26 years.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about Bill's facility in Roseville. It's incredible. It's multiple acres. It's Napa all over the place, and the big Napa trucks are parked outside. You've got to get down there and see it. I was there just last week, and he toured me around the facility. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that, a little bit about some of the stuff he's doing in the community, and a little bit more about who Bill McAnally is deep down in his heart, because he does so much for our community. This is Entrepreneurs Unlimited on Facebook Live, broadcasting from Sports 1140 KHTK, streaming live, podcast, and YouTube at HaneyBiz.com. We are here with Bill McAnally, founder and CEO of Bill McAnally Racing Group, and he's got quite an operation over there in Roseville. How many acres you have over there, Bill?
In Roseville, we've got 5.4. We've got a Napa Auto Care Center there. We do anything from oil changes to full restorations.
Yeah.
So our race shop's there. Bring the kids by, see the cars, get your oil changed while you're there.
It's a really great facility. I have a 68 Camaro, and I think we were going to take it over there yesterday and talk about that on the show, but we couldn't get it started. So we couldn't get it over there. So we're going to try to get that thing running, and it's a really cool 68 Camaro. And if you walk in, you see all the awesome cars getting worked on, but then there are regular, I saw City of Roseville fleet vehicles in there. So you guys do everything.
We work on from grocery getters to Dodge Caravans to custom hot rods.
What's an extreme case? I don't even know what a grocery getter is, but is that like a station wagon these days?
It'd be a Toyota Camry or a Toyota Sienna.
Okay. Very cool. Okay, so you got to get over there. And inside your facility, as we walked around, you've got there's a little store to the left. It's got all kinds of cool racing stuff in it. And then there's a community room. And there's all kinds of stuff there. It's very entertaining to walk through.
No, it's definitely 5.4 acres. It used to be the old lumberjack store.
Right.
Back when I worked at the utility company, I'd go in there and buy bags of concrete and lumber. And Bearco Redwood has taken a piece of that, and they've actually got a little lumber store there.
Oh, yeah, Tim's been on the show. Yeah.
Great people. Great operation there. So if you need any redwood or any building supplies,
I bought tons of building supplies there. I've never been that good with a hammer and nail, but I'd pick them up, and then somebody would slap them together.
And then the hunts, you talked about the racing collectibles and the safety wear. When you walk into our shop, they've got a store built into our shop. So if you're into NASCAR collectibles or need any safety wear, that's a one-stop shop. You can get your lumber, your concrete, your safety wear, your collectibles, and your car tuned up. You
speak of safety wear, and we talked about these young drivers coming up through and how you build a team, because you've got guys from all over the country. And I was thinking that NASCAR and racing in general was extremely dangerous. Talk to us about safety and how you build a team that operates with your kind of safety record.
Well, as far as NASCAR works, I'd like to start here, Mark. The NASCAR K&N series, it's a development series for NASCAR. It's kind of like the River Cats is to baseball. It's where young drivers come to get developed to continue moving up the ranks. Kevin Harvick was our 98 series champion. We worked with Clint Boyer, Brendan Gaughan, Kyle Larson's used the series to step up. A lot of drivers use it as their stepping stone. But safety is very important, and ever since we lost Dale Earnhardt, NASCAR got very serious about safety. They built an R&D center. They do a lot of research and development. They've come up with new seats, new headrests, a lot of safety. They've moved the seat over to the center of the car. They've done a lot of things to make these cars more safe. And before that, it was kind of barbaric. Mm-hmm. There's pictures of old days in NASCAR when they were racing on the beach at Daytona. They'd tie rope around their waist, around the seat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, crazy things the way that it started. But now, and I'm very proud to say we've got a great team of people there at Bill McAnally Racing that work really hard. We've never had a driver injured. This year we've got 4 young drivers. We run 4 teams full-time in the series. and we work real hard on the safety. And I'm very proud to say,
I don't know how you pull off never having. I don't know any sport or any team that in any arena that's never had an injury.
Well,
Seems kind of shocking.
NASCAR makes it easy for us. They've got rules that we have to follow, but we've got great fabricators, great mechanics that they take care of the details.
So how old is the right age to start racing?
One of my drivers that's with me now, being very successful, started when he was 5 years old. He's 15 years old now. He has more experience at 15 than I had at 31.
Wow.
It's crazy. These kids are starting NASCAR. When I first started running this series, you had to be 18 to participate. Now it's 15. So things have changed.
And some of these guys have these dreams of, being on television and doing kinds of great things. Now you and your team are grooming these young minds. What do you do to sort of shape their philosophies and put them in the right frame of mind to win?
Well, you've got to get them good equipment, surround them with good people. You've got to gel a group of people together that are all working in the same direction and believe in each other and work hard for each other. And they need to communicate. They need to be able to tell their crew chief and their crew what they need out of a race car. And not only for a few laps, sometimes they're out there for 150 laps that they've got to run a set of tires. So they got to know what they need 80, 90 laps into a run to be competitive. So teaching them that, getting the experience.
What kind of person makes a great racer?
A patient person, a person that isn't too aggressive, a guy that knows when to use it and when not, a guy or girl. We've had some great female drivers. But it's and then they've got to be marketable, too. You've got to be able to take these kids. They need corporate dollars to move up the ladder.
It takes a lot of money to put together a racing career, right? You've got to get backing.
Oh, yeah. So
how much backing do you need? You need hundreds of thousands, millions?
It depends at what division you're participating. At our level, it's $700,000 to $800,000 a year, depending on how much testing you're going to do and exactly how you do it. But they need to be able to light up a room when they go in there. They've got to be able to talk on the radio. They've got to be able to be interviewed on television. So they've got to be a corporate America dream to move up the ladder, too.
How has Danica Patrick changed the sport? She's obviously marketable.
Oh, very marketable, and she's done a great job for the females that are out there racing go-karts, racing late models. She's opened the door for them. It is possible for a female driver to make it to the Cup Series, to the pinnacle of NASCAR. I just wish we could get a female up there that could win at that level.
Yeah, she does have attributes. I think she's helped GoDaddy quite a bit from what I can tell. So now just thinking about if I'm a parent and I have a child that wants to, you've got people from all over the country on the Bill McAnally team. How do they work with you? How do they end up becoming part of your process?
Well, we'll test them. We get phone calls daily, but usually they've started in go-karts, quarter midgets, move their way up to late models. And when they're winning at that level, that's when their dads and they're trying to figure out where to go. What's the next step? How do we afford to take that next step? That's when we get the calls, and we usually test them, evaluate them, and we'll give them a way to go.
Let's talk about you've built this business and you've had the ups and downs and turning points. And I know you had a story about a theft that really changed things for you.
Yeah, back in we just moved out of the local racing. We're starting to race the NASCAR K&N level on the regional level. And actually I had my truck and trailer stolen from in front of my house. Man. And I walked out there that morning and noticed it was gone. And I thought it had got towed because I typically didn't park it at my home. We had done a show that night with the Cub Scouts, a Pinewood Derby event. Mm-hmm. Went out there, my truck and trailer was gone, so I called the CHP to find out where they might have...
Right before a race. It was like right before a race.
I woke up. We were on our way to Mesa Marin for the season opener. And called the CHP and said, hey, if my truck got towed, who do I call? How do I find it? Man. And they said, it's funny you're calling. We found it, and it was stolen last night, and they actually lit it on fire and burned it to cover their tracks. And I was just in dismay over that, and had a good friend of mine, Ron Souza. He owned a transmission shop here in town. He said, Bill, because I wanted to find who did it. I was furious. Yeah. I wanted to. I wanted to find. He goes, don't worry about it. That's done. You need to worry about going forward.
Think forward.
And then the support that we got from the community was just second to none. I mean, I got donations from money to parts to pieces. I had Cup owners. Richard Childers called me. He said, get back here. I want to talk to you. I want to meet you. I can help you. And
Wow.
I rented a U-Haul trailer. I had $2,200.
So you had your competitors saying, let me jump in and help you.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And that ignited a fire in me to succeed that I didn't even have before. I didn't want to let all the people that supported me and helped me rebound, I didn't want to let them down. I wanted to move forward and show them that we could rebound from this. And that was also a turning point.
Wow. It definitely have launched your career from that point to everything that you've got going today. And and you do a lot for the community, and it just shows in the kind of support you got that you're a very humble but very likable person, and people want to help you. But you now do so much more for the community. You have that community room with all the 49ers stuff. You're doing the big race for breast cancer. You brought us these hats. I mean, you're just the nicest guy, and you've had so much success. I
need you to talk to my employees because I don't know if they'll agree with you.
That's funny. Tell us about. Okay, I want to know about. Tell the group. Tell our listeners about the Niner room that is. I've never seen anything like it. Then I also want to go into the races coming up on October 15th.
Well, when I first came to the Rockland area after I graduated from high school, I got a summer job with the 49ers when they used to have their summer camp. So I became a huge 49er fan. I got to work with them there a couple summers and started following them, got to know several of them through those summers. So I've got a 49er conference room that's decorated in jerseys with all the players that I got to know. And we've had Joe Montana visit it, Dwight Clark. We've had a lot of Niners, Skip Vanderbunt here locally, Dell Rogers. But we have a Niner conference room, and we use it for a lot of community meetings. The Rotary Club, we've got a business group that meets there Thursday mornings, the Roseville Swing Band. We had the junior leadership from the city of Roseville come in, but it's open for community meetings. If you ever need a spot for a community meeting.
I'm there. I'm already planning my meetings there. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Bill. And just as we kind of close out, you have that big race on October 15th in Roseville to support breast cancer and the Breast Cancer Foundation. Tell us about that as we go to break.
That's a rewarding event. We work with the community, and the community embraces it. All the businesses here in town, we've got a lot of partners and friends. We bring the NASCAR K&N Series into my hometown where I started racing. It's the only national televised event at Placer County Fairgrounds all year. October 15th will be our championship race right here in Roseville, in our hometown where it all started. So mark that on your calendars. It's going to be a heck of a race. We got a lot of raising stars of NASCAR that'll be there paying their dues, fighting for that championship and the win here at Roseville.
You heard it here on Entrepreneurs Unlimited, October 15th. Thanks, Bill, for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Great to get to know you over this last little while. Coming up in the show, we are brewing up some thought-provoking conversation with Craig Hetrick, the former CEO of Java City. Craig is now CEO of Renaissance Executive Forums. Join the conversation on Facebook Live. This is Entrepreneurs Unlimited, broadcasting from Sports 1140, KHTK, streaming live, podcast, and YouTube at haneybiz.com.